Hello and welcome. I'm Zombie Kitty and welcome back to Spooky Month. I'm really nervous about this one. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So what this is gonna be is kind of a hint towards what I'm gonna be doing in December. So in December, I'm going to be reacting to music videos that I either grew up with or that shaped my music tastes and you know, that kind of thing. But I originally had this one down within that month, and I thought actually this one's a little too creepy to be in there, so let's move it up to October, because again it is the time of Halloween and spooky and scares and yeah. So this is a video called Come to Daddy by Aphex Twin or Apex Twin. I actually don't know how to pronounce that. But this came out actually a while ago, so this was uploaded onto the YouTube channel in 2018. But I think this was actually released in like the early 2000s, because I remember seeing this video when I was like a teenager or like just coming into my teens. And it was the first sort of X-rated like music video I ever saw. So in the UK how it works is with TV you have something called the watershed. So after 9 PM like sexual content, graphic content, swearing is allowed to be uncensored on TV. And at the time MTV were the same. I don't know if they're the same now. I admittedly haven't watched any music channels in a long time, but this was one of the first ones that I watched where it was shown after 9 PM and scared the crap out of me. So I do want to say this will have disturbing imagery and graphic content, violent content in it. Actually, I don't think it's violent, I think it's just disturbing. But yeah, I'll put that warning out there beforehand just in case, because I do vaguely remember some of the imagery in this. It's quite a long one, so apparently this is a director's cut, I think. This is 6 minutes long. So yeah, this, I'm stalling as well because I'm nervous, because I do remember some of the imagery, but at the time I wasn't into horror films, so maybe it'll be different this time around. Okay, let's just go for it. Let's go. Okay, already I hate the sounds. Ah, another thing as well. This is before HD was a thing. So yeah, this was early 2000s. But this was before HD was a thing. So I can't change the video quality. So I do apologise about that. There's a horrible noise. I like that they're treating it like a short film as well. Don't go near the TV. You gonna pee there, mate? Who are you? Some of this I'm gonna have to blur. Some of this I am gonna have to blur. To be fair, if you pee on a TV, then I don't know what to expect. Oh my god, that's horrifying. You've just abandoned your dog. Where's the dog gone? Oh, hi computer fan, you've just turned on. Oh, hello. What is happening? I may be speechless throughout most of this video, to be fair. And I have no explanation for this. God, the fluent visual effects are horrifying. kind of reminds me actually of if anyone's ever watched David Cronenberg's Videodrome. Like, it reminds me of that. Christ. I'm gonna get nightmares. Hate that. Don't like that. I don't remember this part of the video. Oh, that's the guy in the car. I think, is that the actual artist? I think it is. Actually, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure actually. Hi. Come play with us, Danny. Don't argue over the TV, you're going to break it. There you go, told you were going to break it. Just go and see, look what you did. Well done. Oh wow, okay, this is definitely... Remember the Videodrome that I was mentioning? Well then, you're still here? Why have you not got out? Okay, this is the part I was kind of nervous about. Oh god. Why are you just standing there and accepting this? What the hell am I going to do for the thumbnail, by the way? Oh, Granny, what did you do today? Oh, a demon screamed in my face and I stood there and took it. Oh, you have hair now? Like, what do I say to this? Like, seriously, what do I say to any of this? So you broke the TV and he got out? I'm guessing? I mean, here's the thing. What do I say to any of that? It's weird because you get some things where you either like, I don't know, foods give you like memories, like you eat a food and it takes you back, or you watch something that takes you back. Weirdly enough, I'm getting memories from this. But it's more like, and even the whole time I sort of had this like nervous feeling, and I'm not sure why, because I've definitely seen worse in horror films, but I think, you know, it's sort of that feeling of remembering how you felt watching it as a kid when you probably weren't supposed to be watching it. But yeah, I don't know, what do I say to that? What do I say to any of that? Okay, no, I will say one thing. The practical effects and like the visual effects are really, really cool. There's some imagery in this. And I don't really know what I'm gonna put as the thumbnail, to be honest. Maybe I could have it of the demon just screaming at the woman. I don't know why she just stood there and took it. Like, that's always been so confusing to me. She just stood there and took it. Okay, so hi, I'm filming this a bit later after I already edited the video, but there's a couple of things I actually forgot that I wanted to talk about and mention. I think there is a reason why the woman is just standing there and accepting this demon screaming in her face. I do have a theory of what I think the video is trying to symbolise. Whether that was the intention or not, or whether they were just like, yeah, let's make a silly, scary video. I don't really know, but I'm going to theorise, because I think it probably was trying to say something. It probably did have some symbolism there. My theory is that the video is, again, at the time, the view of quickly growing technology through the eyes of the elderly. So the only person who is not part of the whole situation, and aside from the guy who gets eaten, I guess, is the elderly woman that we see from the very start. And she seems constantly afraid of everything that's going on. To be fair, I would as well. But the fact that she seems a bit scared of the TV and seems frightened even when it just switches on and that's it. I think that's what it's trying to say. And like, even when the TV comes to life and becomes like this demon thing, I think the idea there is like that people have given enough time and effort, and to a certain extent have worshipped television to the point where it's become this thing that's kind of out of our control, and that is growing rapidly into something that we may not recognise. I think at the time as well, cable TV was starting to become a thing, and there was a whole sort of fear of, okay, well, kids will just be stuck glued to the TV and, you know, playing outside and stuff and socialising will kind of be not obsolete, but will lessen. And at the time, they were kind of fears in sort of the late 90s. And I think it's tapping into that as well, of like, TV will eat your brain, it will, like the song says, eat your soul, and change you into something else. But I think also the fact that she's just standing there and accepting this really weird thing that's going on, and including the screaming. I think the screaming bit is actually, she is accepting it because she has to accept it. So again, I mentioned that I think the demon thing represents fast-growing technology into something that may not be recognisable for the older generation. And she's accepting it because she doesn't have a choice. Like, that is there, that's not going away, and you have to accept that it's going to be in front of you and in your life, whether you like that or not. And I think that's what the video is probably trying to say, or trying to symbolise. And again, this could be complete gobbledygook, and could actually be like, no, it's just a scary video for being a scary video. But again, because I like to theorise stuff, this is what I got from it. So I think it is an elderly person's view of ever-growing technology, ever-changing, fast-growing technology that they don't recognise. And especially if you don't recognise something or don't understand something, it can be scary or concerning. So I think that's what the video is trying to say. Another thing I thought to mention actually in the intro was that, yes, this song was a parody of like The Prodigy and all that lot at the time. However, when the track was released, the artist actually hated its popularity, even to the point where I think he tried to stop the publication of the song and of the single so it wouldn't reach #1 in the UK. Paraphrasing here, but from what I remember, there was an interview with him to do with this, and he said that, you know, this was just written as a parody to The Prodigy. Like, he thought of a silly melody, simple lyrics that were just going to be the same thing over and over, and that was it. And he said, and then suddenly, you know, it was released as a single and then suddenly it had a music video. Suddenly it became popular. Like, what? It never meant to be like that, and I hated it. Like, it wasn't right. So it's interesting that he didn't like that. He didn't like the fact that it got popular, which was quite interesting. But I thought I just had a couple more thoughts on the song and the video that I forgot to film at the time. So, past self, I guess, is back to you. So yeah, there's a lot of sort of influences from like Videodrome and stuff, especially with the guy coming out of the TV, and especially it's a very quick image, but you had like something like sort of going through the TV screen. It looked as if the TV screen had grown like flesh. That is literally from David Cronenberg's Videodrome. Fantastic film if you can deal with body horror and practical effects and that kind of thing. Like, it is a weird film, but it's fantastic. But you can definitely see the influences if you've seen that film. I think also, from what I remember, that the actual song... Now again, someone correct me if I'm wrong, because I only heard about this and don't know if it's true, but I think this song was literally only released or created as a Mickey take of these type of artists. So this artist doesn't usually do, from what I remember, this type of music. Again, from what I remember, I haven't listened to this artist in a long time, but this was, yeah, a complete Mickey take of these type of artists who do, you know, like silly lyrics and like drum and bassy type backing tracks. And unfortunately, this is their most well-known song, so it kind of backfired a bit. I don't think they wanted to be, you know, he wanted to be known for this. However, here we are. I guess if you release a creepy video with it, and then the rest of your videos are kind of normal-ish, then this one is going to be well known. Yeah, the practical effects as well are really, really cool, especially with the thing coming out of the TV. And then it's sort of stretching up and growing, and its fingers are all wriggly and stretching out and stuff. Like, that was really, really cool. And even the visual effect of the guy's sort of face like stretching and morphing on the TV. It was creepy, but again, I think it was a really cool visual effect. And it's weird sort of watching it after seeing all of these other horror films and coming back to this. Like, when I first watched this, it would be another 2-3 years before I watched 30 Days of Night, which is the one that got me into the horror genre. So it's interesting to see what I wasn't okay with in terms of horror compared to now. Because again, like, I've definitely seen worse now, but it's still creepy and disturbing. But I will have to blur out maybe 1 or 2 images, because I don't think YouTube's going to like that very much. Especially with the dog peeing at the beginning. I may have to blur that whole little section or something. Well, you guys will see that once this video is out, I guess. But yeah, this was interesting to revisit. And I think it's also a good sort of hint to what I'm going to be doing in December. This was the worst one, by the way. The rest of them are not scary. The rest of the music videos that I react to aren't scary or terrifying or weird or something like that. They're all perfectly fine and normal in the grand scheme of things compared to this. So don't worry, I'm not reacting to any horror stuff in December when I do the music video section. So don't worry about that. I have nothing else to say. I think this kind of speaks for itself, really. Yeah, it speaks for itself. And even when I was watching it, I was just like, what do I say? Like, what do I say to all of this? It's just kind of happening, and I have to accept it. But this was Aphex Twin, or Aphex Twin, Come to Daddy. This was the director's cut of the music video. Yeah, I will leave the link to this video in the description below, if, God forbid, you want to watch this. But yeah, happy Halloween, I guess, in a week's time or whatever. I will see you all soon. Bye!